Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. My name is Justin Copeland, and on this channel, Stay Fresh Productions, we talk about all things fragrance related. Any interest in that kind of content? Welcome to the right place. Please consider subscribing. Join the Fresh Squad by subscribing. Enhance your freshness, you will feel it, and other people will smell it. We're doing another summer list today, but this time, we're talking about sensual summer fragrances. Sensual is not always a term we hear thrown around or thought of when it comes to summery fragrances. So just to be brief, how I'm defining this is these are fragrances that are fresh, but without an abundance of citrus, creating that freshness. And most importantly, they have a prominent sweetness to them. The sweetness is what really makes them sensual. It's what makes them alluring. These are fragrances that you can wear day or night. Some of these might be more for night than others, but I think you could find a place or time to wear them any time of the day throughout the season. I will be doing a purely sexy summer nighttime fragrances list coming soon, so stay on the lookout for that. Gonna have some beautiful picks in that one. But today we're talking about all day wear, fresh, but a sweet alluring quality in there in very different ways. So let's jump right into it. Here at the 10th spot, we have a cheapie. You'll probably see this fragrance again in this month's cheapie video for the summer fragrances. And I think it's a good one for a cheap one. This is the ugliest bottle in my collection, as I always say, from Ed Hardy. This is called Hearts and Daggers. And aromatic and fresh, but it has this kind of effervescent pear martini vibe. It's not really all that boozy, but there is something kind of bubbly about it. And it's fruity and it's sweet, but again, it's also fresh and it dries a little bit woody. The woods and the sweetness, especially from the fruits, do make it a little bit sensual, but it is mostly on the playful side. You really have to wear this in the right way. This can come off a little youthful, I think, but worn by the right person with the right attire, I think you could pull it off in a sensual way. But it's at the number 10 spot because it is by no means the most sensual fragrance on this list. But it's a fun one to wear, smells good, actually lasts a decent while. Probably gonna get you some compliments. But here at the 10th spot, that is Hearts and Daggers from Ed Hardy. Here at the 9th spot, this is so low on the list because it does actually have a main citrus note, which is blood orange, but I do think that it is well balanced and almost overshadowed by some of the sweeter elements like praline, like vanilla, but it is fresh. This is definitely daytime wear, but daytime sensual wear if you want to be a little bit alluring while the sun is up. This is called Ultrared Man from Paco Rabanne. Discontinued, but if you can find it for a good price, not a bad scent at all. It is orangey, definitely kind of juicy, but also sweet and creamy and kind of rich again with those sweeter notes I mentioned, even a little bit earthy with some patchouli. Definitely casual wear for the daytime, but something that could probably turn some heads. That is Ultrared Man from Paco Rabanne. I did get this courtesy of my friend Steve from Fragrance Fanatic Steve. He has a great company called Kingdom Fragrance. They have niche and designer fragrances for fantastic prices. Gonna link him down below. And it was actually the idea of my buddy Ross from TLTG Reviews to have this sent my way from Steve. So thank you both for Ultrared Man. Here at number 8, from the house of Giorgio Armani, definitely not the most popular in this line, but definitely a unique kind of take on the DNA. They kind of abandoned it after they did this and a flanker to this. Maybe they'll return to this flanker of a flanker, I'm not sure. But this is called Acqua di Gio Absolu. And this took that marine, fresh, kind of sea salty, ozonic nature of the original, but made it sweeter and warmer. Definitely a good bit of amber in here, still keeping that patchouli, even a little bit of labdanum, which brings this kind of warm, almost leathery quality. But it is still fresh, and it's an eau de parfum, which actually makes it last a pretty decent while. It comes off a little bit playful, but I do think if you wear this at night, dressed up a little bit nicer, maybe all black, it can actually suit the situation nicely. It can come off a little bit more refined, but still on the casual side of things, but you could wear it all day, really. And it does have a sensual nature, I think more so than the original, if you're asking me. That is Acqua di Gio Absolu. Here at number 7, from the house of Lalique. You don't hear this fragrance talked about much. Man, that smells great. Wow. You don't hear it talked about all that much. What a beautiful, kind of spicy, boozy, like rum, but with spices, but with some citrusy freshness that's kind of not the dominant player here. Almost this kind of coconutty vibe in there. This is called L'Insoumis from Lalique. If this bottle looks familiar, it's because it came out the same year as Ferragamo Uomo. And if I'm not mistaken, I've heard that Lalique is actually responsible for Ferragamo's bottle for that fragrance, because if you didn't know, Lalique is really known for their glassware and their glass making. And it shows here, even though you can get this thing so cheap on the discounters, beautiful design, beautiful detailing, and a great scent to match. Woody, boozy again with that rum, but still kind of fresh, almost a little tropical in a way. And again, a little spicy, bears resemblance to something like Still Life in Rio from Olfactive Studio, but a little bit less fresh than that one and not quite as sweet and more woody for sure. Man, definitely something that's gonna get people asking what you're wearing day or night. I think you could pull it off either time. Definitely on the casual side, but definitely sensual. L'Insoumis. Right, and at the 6th spot, one of my favorite summer fragrances, period, especially when it comes to things that smell tropical, that smell like you're by the beach, day or night. A little bit sunscreeny in a way, but in a very delicious and juicy, fruity, dense way. This is Coco Moon from Beach Geeza. Very sensual scent. Still on the playful side of things, based around a lot of coconut as per the name. Oh my gosh, coconut, vanilla, pineapple, benzoin, sandalwood, sweet, creamy, coconutty, a little bit fresh, but not quite as fresh as some of the others here. But simply just smells so alluring. It's an uplifting scent. People catch a whiff of this, they want to just be around you. They want to talk to you. They want to see what's up. I think it could be quite sensual when worn in the right occasions. That is Coco Moon from Beach Geeza. All right, here at the 5th spot, now we're getting into slightly more upscale, sensual fragrances. This one definitely will shine in the nighttime, but I do think you could pull it off in the day as well. This is a new fragrance to my collection. This is coming from the house of Sillage. They did send this to me, and I've been checking it out for the past few days, and it's grown on me. At first, I was a little skeptical because it reminded me of something else, and that something else is actually Tom Ford Plum Japonais. But in actually giving it a full wearing, it does kind of set itself apart. It's called the Contemporary. Now, if you know this house, you know that one of the coolest things about their bottles is this little mechanism that you use to reveal the atomizer. There's a button and it slides open to reveal right there, and you just kind of close it back up. Really cool. This is nice. This is warm and spicy. There's a little bit of a freshness from cardamom. Cardamom brings kind of a fresh spice, but there's some other spices in here as well. There's definitely some plum, a dark, juicy plum, which kind of ties it to Plum Japonais along with the warm spiciness. As it dries down, it gets just warmer. There's some amber in here. I think there's some animal notes, as they call them. But overall, it comes off with a little bit more of a fresher, kind of designer-like profile compared to the Tom Ford. It is not anywhere near as dark, but just as pleasant. And I do think it could be quite sensual. You could dress this one up. Again, I think nighttime is great for it, but anytime will do. But I do think you should dress it up, and the sensuality will join you. That is the Contemporary. Real quick, just want to make a quick announcement. Our new fragrances with Zaharoff, mine being Brass and Soul. Andrea from Curly Scents, her fragrance is called The Siren. And of course, we have Ross from TLTG Reviews. His is called Business Over Pleasure. These are limited time releases. You've probably heard us talk about them already, but just want to remind you the pre-order is still open, but they're going quick. So don't wait much longer. I'm going to have a link down below to where you can pre-order it. Or if you're still not sure, I'm also going to have a link right next to it that has a video, at least for my fragrance, where you can learn more about the project and the fragrance itself and the story behind it and all that stuff. So make sure you go down to that description, check out the necessary materials, and get our fragrances before they're gone. Back to the video. Here at number 4, this had to be on the list, an absolute classic when it comes to sensual and alluring fragrances that kind of span all seasons. This is coming from Parfum de Marly, and this is my little 75 ml bottle of Layton. which I haven't worn in a while. Maybe I'll wear it tonight, we'll see. I have a performance this evening. Haven't decided what I'm gonna wear, but this smells lovely. It does smell more on the playful side, but definitely sensual. Can definitely be alluring, and it's quite versatile. Again, I think you could dress it up. It does have a nice bit of freshness to it. You have geranium in here. You have an aromatic lavender in here. You do have some citruses like mandarin orange and bergamot. So freshness is there, no doubt, but you do have some warmer tones immediately. Sweet vanilla, some fruity apple, some cinnamon. Some people compare this to Hugo Boss Bottle, the original. Kind of. That apple cinnamon vibe is with the vanilla is kind of tucked in there. But I do think that some of the spices like the cardamom in here and even the freshness like the geranium and lavender. And it's a little bit darker perhaps with guaiac wood and patchouli, some earthy darker tones that are subtle but are there, especially in the dry down. They kind of set it apart from the Hugo Boss. But simply a great scent, simply something that's going to get people wondering what you're wearing. They're going to say good things about it because it just smells great in the air. Definitely one of my most complimented fragrances because of how sensual it can be. Something people want to get closer to. That is Layton from Parfum de Marly. Here at number 3. I decided to put this at number 3 because I want to give it some more love. I haven't worn this in a good while. It is a tried and true fragrance in the community. A lot of people do love this one. And I do enjoy it. Again, it just kind of gets overshadowed and outshone by some other fragrances. But we have a classic from Creed. This is called Original Santal. As people say, unoriginal Santal, because let's face it, they probably copied Mont Blanc Individuel, which I think came out just a couple years before this. Although both of them would be based on Job Homme, which came even earlier. So anyway, this is the perfect blend of freshness and sweetness. You do have an aromatic juniper berry. You do have lavender in here. Immediately get some spicier, warmer, sweeter tones, cinnamon, vanilla, sandalwood as per the name. Kind of smells fruity, sweet, creamy, and definitely fresh in a very clean way. There's something clean about it, almost like clean laundry. I think it's simply alluring. It is quite sensual, not the sexiest fragrance. I honestly would reserve this for the daytime because it's not the most sensual fragrance out here. Number 1, number 2, and number 1, well, number 1 especially, super sensual, but this one can still do it. I have an older bottle here. This is a 2011 bottle. I can't speak for the newer batches in terms of performance or scent, but I do recommend sampling it if you can. I will have links to this and all the other fragrances down in the description, so make sure you check them out. But at number 3, definitely something I think is going to get some positive attention during the summertime. Even though it's on the sweeter side, it'll still work in the heat with its freshness. That is Original Santal. Here at number 2, this fragrance makes my mouth water and it makes me smile. And it has a beautiful duality to it. It transforms in a way you would not expect. I did talk about one of the fragrances from this brand new house in a previous video, which I'll link up here. You should check that out. The house is Porouge, and this fragrance is called Patchouli Figue. Oh my gosh. This is based around pear, a sweet, juicy pear, a little bit of this green vegetal but kind of mouth-watering rhubarb up top with fig leaf. So it's a little green, which brings a freshness, but immediately it is sweet with pear and fig as per the name. A little bit of a floral jasmine in there, but it mostly dries down to some amber, warm sweet amber, and cacao, and even some patchouli. It really transforms. It starts kind of fresh green, sweet fruity, but turns into kind of like warm, almost chocolatey, earthy, woody, still keeping that pear and fig combo all the way through though. A beautiful composition. I think it's something that could be worn very well, especially during the daytime. This is sensual daytime wear. That sweetness, the strength of this fragrance as well, is going to allow it to linger in the air and really catch the attention of those around you. And again, sweetness in the air pulls people in. Not everyone loves to wear a sweet fragrance, but a lot of people do love to smell one, especially when it's in the air and it's not too strong. This is a great one to fit that bill. It is fairly unique and I am loving it more and more every time I smell it. I do recommend checking out Patchouli Figue. I'm gonna have a link down below to do so. And that number 1, perhaps the perfect sensual summer fragrance. Maybe not intended specifically for the summer, but this version of it does make it more appropriate for the warmer weather. From the house of Roja Parfums, we have Danger Parfum Cologne. This is tried and true. I love this stuff. I've gotten some great experiences wearing this stuff. This is kind of like original Santal in relation to that beautiful balance of fresh and sweet, but this just takes it to the next level. You do have citruses that combine into a beautiful accord that just contributes to the freshness. Most of that freshness coming from lavender though. But mostly what you get as this thing dries, as that freshness fades, that kind of lavender citrus fades, you do get a good heavy dose of vanilla that's made a little bit animalic, a little bit stinky in a way from cumin. You gotta like cumin, which is a spice, and it can add a very, very distinct nature. But when blended well, especially with sweetness, I think it does magic, and I think it works perfectly here. You also have some other things, as Roja always does. His base notes are always so rich and full, and there's a lot going on here. Ambergris, you have woods, you have tonka bean, you have patchouli. I mean, everything is in here, so it's gonna last a good while on the skin. But that sweetness with that aromatic nature surrounding it as it lingers through the air, as per the name, this is kind of dangerous. Definitely sensual stuff. And that freshness is gonna allow it to do well with a little bit of heat. It's gonna just push a little farther, and it's gonna catch more noses around you. So I definitely recommend getting a decant of Danger from Roja Parfums. This is the Parfum Cologne version. They do have an eau de parfum or parfum, which is a lot denser, definitely more for fall and winter, but beautiful scent. But this one is gonna do you right in the summer. Check it out, links down below. All right, that is my list. Those are 10 sensual summer fragrances. Again, fresher profile, but with a nice bit of sweetness in there, and not an overabundance of citrus as you would expect from a lot of fresh summery fragrances. So what I'd love is for you to let me know what you think of these fragrances down in the comments below. Have you tried any of these? Do you love them? Do you hate them? It's all fair game. The comments are where we can talk about it. I would love to know what you think. If you like the video, please like the video. It goes such a long way to help with my visibility across this YouTube platform. Join the Fresh Squad if you've made it this far. Subscribe, enhance your freshness. Why would you not? And if you wouldn't, if you have a fantastic reason, put that down in the comments. I would love to know why you would choose not to be fresher, like the rest of us.
I hope you'll make the right decision.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.